Hello everybody and welcome. So I'm going to introduce you in one moment to our host today, Anne Botting, who owns the college. Let's just do a couple of quick housekeeping things before we do. So this should go for 30-40 minutes, depends how many questions you all got. And the plan is that Anne is going to take you through the wage subsidies that are available and some of the training subsidies, and answer your questions and probably surprise you with what's actually possible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just before we do, let's introduce our presenter. So Anne Botting, our presenter, owns Global Training. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about the college?
Yeah, we've been around for 16 years now. So the good-looking guy on the left-hand side on the photo there is my husband Shane. So Shane was a civil engineer and had worked his way up through being from his associate diploma from being out on the roads and technical side of engineering as well. So understands the guys in the field from all sorts of levels through. So Shane's our training manager at the college, and I do all of these some of the admin, the directing kind of roles.
I think you're underselling yourself a little bit. Anne is actually a genius at unpacking all the government bureaucracy and figuring out what's possible. Yes. Among many other things.
Yeah, so together we make a great team. We've got about 40 team members with us at Global Training now, and sort of well over 1,000 students. So they're all around the country, many of which are definitely from the project management, civil construction, safety kind of backgrounds. Right. And we work with lots of councils and lots of the bigger construction companies as well. So big to small.
And so you do, which will come up later, but it's not mainly, this is not mainly about Global Training, this is mainly about the audience, but you do like business courses and things, but your focus over the years has been on those kind of civil construction projecting.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
Yeah. What we do is we do a lot of career pathing and career development with people. So we career path them from leading hands all the way through to their MBA and management things. So yeah,
awesome.
So we've been lots of exciting stories over the years.
So one of the things that, as Anne's explaining how this whole wage subsidy works, I guarantee that there's going to be some of you are going to be going, did she just say that? Like, that can't be right. So please ask questions in the chat or in the Q&A if you don't want everyone else to see your questions. I will keep an eye on that and ask Anne the questions on your behalf as we go. But there are some surprising opportunities in this.
Oh, it's super exciting.
And there is also some detail that probably you might need clarified. So if you've got a specific scenario, feel free to throw it in the chat and I'll get it into answer it for you. So, Anne, what are we going to be talking about today? 3 things, I understand.
Okay, so there is a wage subsidy program out there for you to upskill your employees, both your existing and your new workers. And the government would like to give you some money to doing that because it's great, benefit to our nation and to the individuals that we're working with as well as your companies.
And so we're going to talk about the fact that it's not just apprentices.
Oh yes, so don't worry about the name because it's nothing about apprentices, it's nothing about boosting, and it's nothing really about commencement. So, but it's very exciting.
Okay, and then what else are you going to touch on as well?
Okay, so New South Wales government has got some different courses and funding available, so has Queensland, and if you're in any other states, we've got stuff for you too, so don't panic there.
Okay, so the main topic, let's talk about what is this back business.
Okay, so what it is the government have got a program out called Boosting Apprenticeship Commencements, and it's not just for apprentices, it's not just for people starting. So you get a 50% wage subsidy for each of you people that you put on a program, up to $28,000 for the 12 months. And and it's eligible for all businesses and councils. So as long as you're not a state government or a federal government organisation.
Okay, what about if you're a charity or something? Yeah,
charities are included as well. So something for everybody, excepting the state government ones.
Okay, and you're saying new and existing. Will you explain that? Yeah,
so I'll go through what's eligible for existing. But if you're on this webinar and you fit into the safety, project management, civil sort of fields, anything construction-y, there's some great stuff here for you.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us about how this came about. What was it all about?
Yeah, so at the end of, and you might have seen on 60 Minutes on Saturday night, the issues that they had with JobKeeper on Sunday night, there were some flaws and different things. So what the government decided is that to get wage subsidies and get the economy stimulated, we needed to be upskilling our people. So they've brought out a program that you can have for you to get the wage subsidy if you are upskilling your people, and they can be your new and your existing people. And so they originally allocated it sort of September, October last year, and places got consumed really quickly by the big companies, and so then they closed. And then they closed it, sort of pulled it all back in again. So, and then they've released again another program for it for this next round of the budgets as well. So the program is going to run through till March next year, and they put an extra $2.7 billion into the program.
Okay, so there's a lot of places.
Yeah, so what happened was when they ran it at the end of last year, they opened it up to the existing workers free for all. So now they've actually scaled that right back into some targeted industries.
Right, and these are the targeted industries that we're talking to today.
Today, yes.
Okay. So that is just what, a little bit of the...
Yeah, a bit of the government paperwork to show that, yeah, it's a real program, it's out there. Yeah, it's all rigid edge and everything extra. We're getting lots of, which I'll show you through, but we're getting lots of approvals through and helping lots of companies and lots of people move their careers forward.
That's great. So, okay, so it's a win-win-win according to you? So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, the government and the economy win as we upskill our people, because innovation carries around less people. So yeah, they're boosting employments, they're upskilling employees, they're making your business much more sustainable in these uncertain times. So yeah, from the government's point of view, it's a program they've got out there. They've really backed it with that $2.7 billion.
Can you say that again?
Billion. No, it's too big for me to even contemplate. But yeah, if they've put those dollars into it, they know that there is definitely going to be benefits out of it.
And we're seeing that, aren't we? Like we're in terms of the new job hires, even with all the disruption to the economy that's happened with the lockdowns, there's still a lot. Unemployment's down. It's amazing.
And this program will allow you to actually employ more people as well.
So how does it help employers then?
Okay, so you're going to add, so every person that you put on, you can add $28,000 to your budget. Which you can either use for skilling and training, or you can use for bringing on extra people.
Now, you said something interesting the other day about how you guys have been using it.
Yeah, so we've actually had thought of a heap of different projects that we had and haven't actually been able to realise because the staff have been busy and stuff. So we've actually used the program to actually bring on some more team members. And with a $28,000 wage subsidy towards their wages, we're definitely getting some projects done and innovation and things too, of which our students are going to be definitely seeing the advantages of.
So it's quite a clever subsidy, isn't it? Because it means that you could actually hire more people. Well, you're going to talk about existing staff,
yes,
but you could hire new staff and basically try some things out, or do new projects that might have been marginal, and then by the end of the 12-month wage subsidy period, they should be up and running. Hopefully.
Yeah, and be able to sustain and hold those people. So yeah, no, it is. It's really good. If you're in this whole infrastructure project, then you get to upskill your people, which will allow you to hit your KPIs for all of the projects that you need to have existing workers and learners on.
Because there's some rules around, like some mandatory.
Yeah, so each of the states on the major projects have things. So if you're in New South Wales, then you have to meet your infrastructure skills legacy program targets. If you're in Western Australia, they've got a program there. Queensland does as well. So if you're looking to be a subcontractor hitting up to the tier 1 and tier 2 sort of projects and getting onto those major projects, then yeah, having your people on and being classed as learners and trainees definitely helps to win those projects.
So if you were clever, you could put, and you'll talk about the courses, I know in a moment, but you could put some of your more experienced people on some of these programs, still meet the requirement for people learning and not be surrounded by a bunch of 17-year-olds that don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. You can really, really, really work this to your benefit. And we have a great deal of fun exploring the opportunities with each of the employers to see how that they can benefit out of it.
Awesome. Okay, and what's in it for the employees?
Oh, the employees, look, professional development for them is a real boost and a real thing that they crave and just want. So we've got students that came back to us the other day and they were from 2009 and still remember what the books were that we used and how the training, of course they're doing much higher levels now, but they still remember what they've done. You know, we've now got second generation students coming through, so the dad's trained. Now one of the daughters is, you know, from civil construction. I know, it's 16 years later. So yeah, one of his daughters came through the other day and said, "Hi, I'm now coordinating training for this company. You know, Dad did his diploma of civil construction management with you." And yeah, and then we've got the really cool guy, people that have come back and said, "Hi, Anne, look, we've I started with you here as I was leading hand. I then went through the whole management process, and a couple of years later, I've now finished my MBA, and I'm managing a big civil company." So yeah, really exciting that people sort of join and become part of the family, and it doesn't matter what their past was before they come, because many of the guys that are guys and girls, definitely we've had lots of women as well, weren't necessarily the scholastic people at high school, and chose to go and work out in the field, and then as they've become and developed their management, decided to catch up with their qualifications and take it through.
So your courses are kind to people who are not sort of studious types.
Absolutely. We write all of our assessments and all our training materials to relate to the jobs for these people directly, and to the company's policies and procedures. So it's basically what they're doing out there every day, or have done in the past if they're at a higher level, and backing their experience with their qualifications. So it's a great thing for the company as well, because the company will be able to pick up the learners to hit those major projects as well. Okay, so let's talk about who's eligible, what can they do, how can they get the money? Because I'm sure the people that are here are like, well, where's the money to Not in my back pocket.
Not in the brown paper bag or anything.
No. Okay, so who's eligible? All councils, businesses and non-profits in all states are eligible. Any employer, any size, any industry in any location. So I'm sure you'll tick lots of those boxes. Australian and New Zealand citizens, and the Kiwis, as long as they've been here for more than 6 months.
Well, we can't go home.
They're not going home anyway. Melanie's a Kiwi, she's not going home. Shane tried to go back to his mother's birthday the other day, and he certainly wasn't going home. So yeah, so most people, if you're here on a skills visa, it won't work.
But if you've got permanent residency,
permanent residency is fine.
And the other one that might be relevant for these guys is if you're a sole trader with no employees, you can't get it for yourself. No. So the director of the company can't, and things like that. Yeah, okay. But it's not just for kids, is it? Do you want to explain that? Absolutely
not. So most of the people, are experienced staff. So like we've probably got, these are just a few of the little ones that have come through this week. We've got a bunch of them here. And a lot of these people will be 30, 35, 40, 45, 28. Yeah. So no, it's not for kids at all. It's for your all experienced people at all ages.
Okay. So a couple of, speaking of such things, here's the numbers that we pulled out.
Okay, so most of them, 20% of them are over 35. That's definitely, people that fit into our target market groups here. 40% is small business. 60% not traditional trades. So New South Wales, if you're in New South Wales, we're running behind, so we need to catch up there.
And interesting, I updated the numbers for you yesterday on how many jobs are being advertised on Seek. It's almost as many as there were 2 months ago. It's hardly dropped. And actually more of them are paying over 100,000 now. Yeah. So massive skills shortage and getting worse.
So if you're having to pay your employees over $100,000, $28,000 towards that will definitely help. So nothing to be sneezed at, $28,000.
I'll take it. Although some civil construction people were telling me the other day, we don't need that, we're making so much money from things. So it's like, you might as well have it though.
Because we do see in civil construction the upturns and the downturns and everything extra.
So tell us about the existing worker thing, because that's really confusing. And most people think that none of their existing employees can get this. So how does that work?
So in the existing workers, there's a little appendix called Appendix I.
Skip over to there.
And so basically on Appendix I, there's very few lots of little qualifications. So if you are a pastry chef, you can still do it as an existing worker.
Or a dog groomer.
A dog groomer was another one. Or if you're into cyber security. They've added cyber security. So in our world, we've got on this tiny little Appendix I, workplace health and safety, for anyone that works within any sort of safety area, or having to implement the safety policies or actually write the safety policies. then and have not got their certificate for in workplace health and safety, then we can do that. And then from the base of the workplace health and safety, for lots of the companies, we're adding on project management and leadership or business sort of courses as well. So they're sort of eating into a dual qualification.
Right.
And sort of focusing for what the companies are actually looking for.
And so can anybody do Cert for in health and safety, or are there limits on what jobs?
Well, you've got to be somewhere within that safety realm,
right?
Whether you're writing the policies in the organisation or you're having to follow them and implement them.
So if you're a supervisor or an office manager or something like this,
yeah,
as long as you're actually responsible for safety.
Safety, yeah. And so we've got people that are weighbridge operators. We've got, I think, some real estate people that have come through. So all sorts of things, because safety at the moment, places that workplace health and safety.
Yeah, it's not just safety, is it?
No, and in COVID, if people are working from home at all, then they are actually classed. That's a whole workplace environment that's got to be managed. So yeah, really look at who and how many of your people could actually benefit from doing your Cert 4 in workplace health and safety. And it's all of the assessments in the program are based on your company and what they're actually looking at doing now.
So if people aren't sure if they're, because if you can do, so you can put an existing, let me clarify this, you can put an existing employee on the certificate for work health and safety and get up to 28,000 from the government. So presumably, if I'm an employer and I'm listening, I'm going to be trying to find some people that want to do safety. If you're not sure whether they're eligible or not, can they talk to you about figuring it out?
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the program, at the end of the session here, we give each of our companies an account manager that works with them, who will discuss through with them and how to get all of the process through.
Okay. And so then there's the other course as well.
Yeah, civil construction. So anyone who from councils and civil construction firms or construction firms, anyone that deals, so leading hand supervisors overseas, project managers, foremen, superintendents, anyone from a leading hand and above, if they haven't got their Cert 4 civil construction supervision, then this is on the existing worker list, and we recommend everyone putting all those people through. Because I say to individuals as well, because we've been working in civil construction for the last over 10, 12 years now, and I say to everybody, if you have not got your Cert 4 civil supervision, get it now as the first qualification, put it in your back pocket, because that's the guarantee of getting on the major projects as a leading hand or supervisor, because all of the HR people understand it and the workplace health and safety people understand it as well. Right. And then the guys can. So I sort of say to them, it's future proofing them. For the companies, if you're trying to get as a contractor onto the major projects or even in your own, well, then councils love to see that your people are qualified. And you get $28,000. Yeah, and you get $28,000. So it's a great win for the students, and it really is, the assessments are written for them based on their jobs that they're out there doing. Okay, awesome. So how do they go about claiming this? Okay, so basically what you get is that you get every quarter up to half the wages, up to $7,000. So basically what happens is you register your people as either a new worker or an existing worker, trainee, but don't worry about the word trainee because it doesn't affect wages or anything. And then you have a meeting with the ASIN, which is an apprenticeship centre mob. You might have heard of Busy at Work or MEGT, someone like that. And then they give you a simple form to apply for the wage subsidy. And then each quarter, they give you a reminder and you put up the wage slips for that person for the quarter, and then they'll pay you up to $7,000, being half those person's wages. So if they earned $15,000 for the quarter, then they would give you $7,000 and you wouldn't get anything on the last $1,000. Right. But yeah, and if you only earn $11,000, that person only earned 11, then you get half of the 11. So you get half of what you've paid them up to a maximum of $7,000 a quarter in your pocket. So $14,000 of your wages. So before we talk about some of the new worker eligibility, if anyone's got any questions, just drop them into the chat and I will ask Anne. Because if you've got someone who's new and you're going to explain what the definition of new is, there's quite a few courses they can do, aren't there? There are, but I will just show you some very quickly that, look, we're getting through the approvals every day. We're getting heaps of them through, but so like this one here, Cert for Civil Construction Supervision, New South Wales. And that's the person that's been there for a while? Oh yeah, these are existing workers, definitely existing workers, trainees, full-time, they work 38 hours a week. So at South Nara in New South Wales, that one's just come through yesterday. This one here, Workplace Health and Safety, is a Queensland one, and that one's just come through as well. Here's another civil supervision one for Queensland.
So what
well.
are these bits of paper that you've got? They're quite significant, aren't they?
They are. So these pieces of paper mean that people have successfully had their meetings with the apprenticeship mob. They're on as apprenticeships and trainees and everything.
So approved.
They're all approved. And so when we've got approvals coming through for ACT, Victoria, Western Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Northern Territory.
We haven't got any Tasmanians yet, though.
No. So if you're from Tassie, we've done lots of civil construction training down in Tassie with some of the companies there. So happy to chat to you about what we do down there, and worked with lots of individuals out of Tassie's as well. But yes, so looking for some trainees from there. But no, definitely got Victoria. Approvals coming through from each of the states. So if people ever say to you, no, there's nothing for existing workers and it doesn't work, well, yes, it does. And and the companies are coming through. So yesterday I had a company that had 12 approved of their people.
Right.
So
it's not just one person, it could potentially be a...
Oh, a group of them. I've got another group of 8 coming through from a civil firm. But the one yesterday had some new workers as well as existing safety, as well as some of their civil construction people.
So for the new workers, and I know you're going to explain in a moment the new worker definition, but there are a whole bunch of courses they can do. Do you want to just talk to us?
So depending, again, to match the best role for the person. So a new worker is someone who you've employed within the last 90 days. And then depending what their role is. So if they're more of a junior person, then Cert 4s are looking at good for business, your project management, and you want bringing into your project teams. So for workplace health and safety, environmental management, entrepreneurship, new business, leadership management, all that civil construction supervision. For more of your experience, going all the way through to your middle level managers.
Get that out?
Yes. Okay. Leadership management, business, project management, HR, government. Workplace health and safety if they've already got their Cert 4, civil construction management. So they're all approved for more experienced people.
Okay, so if you've hired someone in the last 3 months, think about catching up
really quickly. So because this gives your employee the security as well, that if you've got them on a traineeship, they're not concerned about being the last person on, first off as well in these uncertain times.
So you might actually retain them a bit.
So if you've put them on, you've actually wanted to get them and keep them, and this is a great way of being able to keep them as well as help fund them.
Good idea. Okay, so speaking of funding, how much is this course, or are these courses?
Okay, so I will just very quickly show you again. We've got a couple coming through here from this last week as well. Okay, so here's a diploma of Cert 4 in project management practice approval coming through. One's from New South Wales. We've got a diploma of business, and there's another diploma of businesses here as well.
So they're all new employees.
So these are both. These are new employees. Again, we're getting them through from all states. And things, and so again we will talk to either yourself as the employer or the individual as to what course will really suit them in their role, and be able to match things again based on the employer's business for the people, so they will be learning about the policies, procedures and systems in that business.
Okay, great. So cost of the course, they're going to get $28,000 from the government.
Yes.
How much do they have to pay for the course?
Okay, so depending whether or not it's new or existing, so it will somewhere be, if you're in New South Wales, they're going to be free.
Wow.
So free.
They keep the whole 28,000.
If for their new workers, for the existing workers, you pay somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000. So you'll keep over $20,000. In the other states, you pay for it, your courses, but again, you're going to keep over $20,000 and have a great benefit to the organisation. In Queensland, if you're in the construction industry, CSQ will fund it, so you'll probably get a couple of grand, $2-3 grand off it. So they might only cost you $2 grand or $1,575, depending. So really things. So on a baseline ballpark figure, you're going to keep at least $20,000 plus there's extra incentives and things that many employers are able to claim.
So things like payroll tax and cover rebates and things like that.
Yes, and we can go into those as well, and they're sort of listed in a heap of fact sheets that you can just check out for yourself and talk to your accountant about those.
Okay, so let's give us some examples for New South Wales. Okay,
so if they are a new worker, they're going to be free for your Cert 4 in workplace health and safety. Existing workers, $5,750, and you'll claim the wage subsidy for both of those. So well and truly in front. Cert 4 civil supervision, fees are $6,300. We don't change our fees from our normal students through to those that are on the back program. Fees are exactly the same, haven't been raised in about the last 4 or 5 years.
Probably time where you work.
Probably. I'll have to talk to Shane. Project management, again, new workers will claim, save $7,680 if you are in New South Wales. But again, also if you're in Queensland, you'll get CSQ subsidy for that as well.
Okay. So talk to us a bit more about CSQ.
Okay, yes. So CSQ is fabulous. It's an industry fund that is there designed to actually boost training and completion of people and upskilling within the construction industry. So that can be civil or general construction. There's a list of different things that you have to construct or deconstruct a thing according to some plans.
A word, is it?
Yeah, deconstruct, yeah. So it's a lot of fun, but a lot of people can actually access the CSQ funding, and it will, you save a couple of grand on each of the quality courses.
Okay.
And have a range. I've actually got a few CSQ dollars left at the moment, so if anyone's quick, I can get some in before the end of September, get them enrolled, and then you can have another qualification after October.
Right, so I could get two lots.
Yes, 2 lots, yes.
All right, so I know you wanted to do this calculation to show people.
Okay, yes, okay, so if you're getting up to your $28,000, so on the figures on the left here are actually figures that we've looked at after you've paid for any training.
So if you didn't get a free course,
if
you
worst case scenario, if you put 5 people on, you're still going to add to your budget, $111,000.
Right, wow.
Yeah.
So in your pocket that you can do whatever you like.
Absolutely, yes. So there is no, things that you have to give it back in the future or anything, because as long as your person is on and continuing their training, then they're definitely eligible. And if you've got, we've got definitely companies with 10 participants in and approved, and definitely some coming through with the 20 as well. So there's the sorts of dollars that you can add to your budgets and help affect some great positive leads for the lives of those people.
So we've actually got a question out of that. What happens if the person leaves?
Okay, so if they leave partway through, then you let us know, and it is cancelled. The traineeship contract is cancelled, and your wage subsidy would be cancelled as well, because you're not paying the wages because they've left.
Right, makes sense. But you don't have to pay it back or anything.
No, you definitely don't have to pay it back. Yeah.
So the actual training side, how does that work? You have to send them off to college and
no. So we're very, very flexible. So as I said, we've been training with these industries for the last 12 years. So our trainers work very early in the mornings through to sort of 9 o'clock at night. So it kind of fits in around lots of people's programs, whether they're on day shift, night shifts, off shifts, on shifts, right. Fly in, fly outs or whatever. So it's a one-on-one training program. What the people do is that it's on the phone with their trainer. And then, so week 1, you have an on the phone session with your trainer. The next week, you'll be having your completion coach. And a completion coach is somebody that journeys through with each of the students and helps them, gets them motivated, discusses their questions with them, helps them answer any questions, everything extra. We use big fat blocks and things, so they don't have to be concerned if they aren't type or anything. Everything's very big, everything's very simple and designed for people in this industries. And
you've got a point there, fourth one down, that's quite important, I think.
Yeah, no exams, no essays. So the most they're going to have to answer, because we're working on the company's policies, procedures, is 4 to 6 sentences for a Cert 4 to answer any question, and 6 to 8 sentences for a diploma.
And what if people can't type? What if they are not, they're practical people, they're not typing people?
Yeah, if they're not typing people, that's fine. We can actually do interviews with your trainer, can actually interview them through the assessments, or if not, we teach them all how to use their talking on their phones.
Right.
And to Google Drive, voice to text, and then cut and paste. But we have a techie team here at the office who are really good, and their completion coach will help them sort that all sort of thing out. But yeah, everything is really big fat buttons and just download Word documents. So we haven't designed it really pretty or fancy, because that's what doesn't meet the needs of the people out there.
Right. And the course goes for a full 12 months?
Yes, so we plan the course over the 12 months so that you can receive the wage subsidy up for those 12 months.
Because if the course finishes, the subsidy finishes.
Yes.
So you actually want to take the whole
so we want to take the 12 months. So again, which is really good, that if you're looking at people more experienced and higher levels, then it's not going to be a pain in their neck to them. They can just do it slowly and keep going on their own journey as well, and then, or even be doing this and something extra at a high level at the same time.
Right. So We have some very non-pandemic looking pictures here.
Okay. All right, so we can still do, if you've got a group of people, we used to do lots of traditional, so the left hand side is sort of council. The guys down the bottom are definitely from a civil firm, and we work with so many civil firms. So if you want your people in and actually working on the program together and doing their assessments together, we can Zoom the trainers in, and we do this with companies, and we've got examples of how we can show that as well. So, or if your people are located remotely, we can again set them up technology wise.
So you could still do a group program even if people are scattered all over the place.
Yes, so we can do group programs where if you want to bring them in. So unfortunately, in the world of COVID, we're not sending trainers out to workplaces, but
you might not get them back if you do.
No, but workplaces are definitely pulling their people together still. In training rooms and things, and then we're just doing it remotely. So the interaction, everything is still there.
That's the same.
Yeah, basically the same, just in modern day world.
Okay. All right. Now this is important. So people have been thinking, this is all fine, but I sign up for a course and then I don't get the wage subsidy, then I'm stuck with the course fees.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens is at the beginning, we give you a quote and you work out with us which of your people are going to be eligible and which ones will really suit. And then basically when you get all of your approvals all through and your enrolments form through, we don't charge any money or anything for the course until those things are through. Okay. So yeah, you'll know that you are approved for the wage subsidy and your people are approved before you're certainly looking at paying us any money.
That's awesome. That's really good. So for people to know, what do they need to do then we don't have any more questions, I don't think. If we do, just drop them in. You've got about 2 minutes to pop your last questions in. Otherwise, where to from here for people?
Okay, so basically what happens is, send us an email to Wage Subsidy at Global Training, and what we'll do is we'll allocate you an account manager, so one of our very friendly staff here, and they will give you an Excel spreadsheet, and on the Google Drive sheet, so you and us we can both manage it together, and it works really effectively. So on it, we get to have a look at your individual people, how long they've been around, who's going to be new, who's going to be existing, what courses are going to suit. And then we can track on this same one sheet all the way through to have you claimed your money, have you got it back in and everything as well. So we walk you through the process.
And so in terms of their starting point, we just get a bit of initial information we should be able to figure out.
Yeah. So just some idea about the company and the people and their roles. And then we look at, this person might be great for this one will be good for this. And then, we help you get the information needed to go to the apprenticeship centre meeting where you apply for the dollars and then the money arrives in the bank account and then we get the people up and running on training.
Awesome. So we just have one last question. What about casual employees?
Okay, so casual employees aren't considered in part as a traineeship, but you can move a casual employee to a permanent part-time employee or a casual to a full-time, and they'll be classed as new workers.
So if you've had them on casual for ages, but you're thinking of moving them to part-time?
Yes. Okay. So a couple of different states vary on that one, but as long as, so in New South Wales, if you've had them for a while, you move them up, then you can still claim them as you just won't get New South Wales subsidy, but you can still
So you can get the wage subsidy.
You'll get the wage subsidy. You may not get the free course. Okay. But there is a slight difference in each of the states. And again, we've got that on a sheet.
So talk to us. And what about contractors?
Contractors aren't, because they're usually in their own business, but tell your contractors to jump on and see if they can get on the program, because you can count often your contractors as part of your learners programs. So it's still really good for companies.
Okay, awesome. I think that's about it. So is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, so give us a call, talk to us. So really make the most of the opportunity while the government has got it there. It is designed, and we certainly work well with your people and your employees and your company. So we are here to look after you and help you through this whole process.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity, isn't it?
Oh.
So it's like so many people still don't know about it, and they go, oh, no, I've got that traineeship thing covered. It's like, no, you don't.
No,
you're existing
you can definitely put those existing workers as well as your new ones on. So give us a call and let's get it happening for you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Anne. That was great. And thank you everybody for coming, and I hope that was useful to you, and we will chat to you after.
Very soon.